Hey,
Check.
we're live.
Are we? Okay, we're
Hey,
live.
everybody. Welcome to the show, UFC 224 post show. I'm Dave. He's Anthony. You know that already if you're on the channel. I'm just going to tweet out a link, Anthony. I'm going to set it up so we get our questions. Hey, there he is.
Who
our
is
boy
that?
Wally.
Hey, Wally, what's up? What? This is for Wally, actually.
Yeah, there you go, Wally. He's rocking the Ireland
That's right.
hoodie for you because you're out in Ireland. You got to hold your mic, too.
Where is it? It's right here, man.
Where is it? You're not, no, you have to talk into it.
Hello? Checking 1, 2, 3.
Because if you don't talk into it, the podcast is going to sound terrible. We're doing a YouTube show right now, but it's also for the podcast is going to go up on the website, so you got to talk into your mic.
I'm a little shy.
You're not shy, you're just...
I'm a little bored from the last fight, I think.
That last fight was terrible. You want to get right into it?
Let's get into it. Let's wake ourselves up again. That was like...
That was bad.
Lackluster. I think a lackluster, main card.
You're being nice saying lackluster. I thought that main event was weak. I did not enjoy it at all.
I mean, technically, she really fought a good fight. I mean, she really beat up that girl to a pulp. Pennington looked like horrible. She didn't look good, but
Pennington was on defense the whole time.
Yeah.
Nunez was not challenged in that fight. She came in as a plus or minus 1,000 favorite. Pennington hadn't fought for almost 2 years. Okay, she was on a win streak, but I have no idea why she was even getting that title shot. That was not a good main event for a pay-per-view. I don't know how you can say it was a good fight or was a good effort or whatever. It was a weak main event for a pay-per-view. It just was. It wasn't good. It was a one-sided beatdown. It was Amanda Nunez, a dominant champion, beating up somebody who hadn't fought in a year and a half, who was nowhere in her league, and Nunez just put a beatdown on her. And it was boring to watch, because it was just because Nunez wasn't finishing her, and it took until the 5th round to finish her. And by that point, you'd already seen all the fights you wanted to see. You saw Jacare, you saw Machida and Gastelum and Belfort and all those guys. You saw the guys you wanted to see already, and then you're just kind of sitting through this women's fight like, oh man, Pennington has no chance. Can this fight just end already?
Oh man,
it wasn't a good fight to end the pay-per-view with. It was just,
the coffee didn't help on this one. I was zoning out a few times. Anyways, regardless, I thought it was going to be a little bit more excitement. I thought Cyborg was going to be in the stands. There was going to be a call-out, which I was surprised was, how fast the fans left. In Brazil, it doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, but that's it. The fans, when Amanda Nunez was doing her little speech there at the end of the pay-per-view, the arena had emptied. Everybody left. They were like, screw this, we're going home. Man. I don't blame them for doing that. I would have left as well. It's boring.
It was like I was telling you. It was like the Nashville Predator fans leaving before the game ended. It was weird. I've never seen that in MMA. But anyways, regardless, the rest of the card wasn't so bad. It wasn't great. I was happy, obviously, of one fight that came out. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't want... Yeah, we'll get to Mackenzie Dern here in a minute. But, Amanda won. I didn't think she looked particularly good. She's probably, I guess Cyborg would be the next logical choice. It seems like the UFC has no bantamweight contenders to throw at her because they threw Pennington at her, whose last win was against Miesha Tate, who I feel like has been retired for many years now. So Pennington, staying inactive for as long as she has, she's the only person the UFC has to throw at Nunez. They've got no other options to throw at their bantamweight champion. You got to put Cyborg in there against her.
Yeah, but
the problem is Cyborg is gonna beat her ass.
My goodness, it's not. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. She didn't call her out. She didn't there was nothing, no mention of Cyborg. You can tell that she's obviously didn't want to call her out. So obviously that's going to be a big money fight, but I don't think it's going to be a main card fight. With tonight's fight, it can't be considered a main card fight in the future, which is sad. If Nunez really rocked Pennington tonight, it would have been a different story.
I think it's a main event fight. Cyborg and Nunez. It's the 145-pound champion against the 135-pound champion. I think you can still sell that fight as a big fight. Nunez still won tonight, and it was a one-sided beatdown from Nunez. Like I said, she was whooping Pennington and Pennington was not in the fight at all. But I don't think people are convinced. We have our boy Wally right here sending us a comment saying Cyborg would finish Nunez. Nunez would break
the amount of welts on Pennington, on her legs, on her face. I mean, if you didn't see this fight and you just saw the last 30 seconds and like that whole like call out, which was pretty much good sportsmanship on Nunez's side. Like she was talking
that whole talking about, oh, this was a really tough fight for me because I like Raquel Pennington very much and I like her girlfriend and blah blah blah.
A lot of kissing going on, which was kind of like interesting, you know. But you liked it, Dave. Come on, I know you did. I know Wally did. That's for sure. But the thing is that if you didn't see the whole fight,
I'm not even going there.
If you didn't see the whole fight, and you just like saw the last 30 seconds there, you'd be like, man, this must have been an amazing fight. This girl got beaten. It was pretty bad. There was a lot of blood all over the floor, but yet it was boring.
Super boring.
Super boring. And for a Brazil fight, I don't think I've seen anything I've never seen a boring fight in Brazil. I can't even think of the last time. I mean, it was.
You've never seen a boring fight in Brazil?
Never, man. The crowd is usually behind it. They're nuts. It's like it really like. I think it ended when Belfort like lost his teeth on got knocked out into the third rafters.
You mean the first fight of the pay-per-view?
The first fight, which shouldn't have been the first fight.
So it was over as soon as it began.
I think so. I think the main card should not have been like Machida. I think that should have been like maybe the third to last fight. Maybe even like the Cole. I mean, I just find it surprising that they opened up with that fight, which was a great fight. I mean, we obviously picked wrong.
No, I think on the show I picked Machida.
Did you?
I did.
That. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Let me think now. Did you?
I did.
Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But anyways.
Don't give me just look. Listen to last night's show. I picked Machida.
I don't know. You have a history of doctoring things.
No. You can go listen.
You know what I'm talking about.
Ringsidereport.net. See, Wally listened. He says Dave did pick Machida. Thank you, Wally. Picked Machida. Right, I even sent my picks on Twitter to Antoinette earlier tonight, and I took Machida.
Which Machida looked awesome. I mean, he looked great today.
He threw that kick, right? He threw that crane kick. He knocked out Vitor Belfort. You know, Anderson Silva hit that kick on Vitor when they fought for the title, and he dropped him and knocked him out right afterwards. And Machida hit that kick on Randy Couture and knocked him out and finished Couture and finished his career with that kick. So Machida's got a history with that kick.
And it works.
It works, man. It works on Vitor, right?
Look, Vitor didn't
straight up the middle.
Look, Vitor wasn't aggressive at all. He threw out those combinations, his body punches, he would be aggressive. But in the first round, I think he threw a total of 4 punches. There wasn't that many punches behind that round, and to be honest, it looked like a very old. Obviously, he is old, but a really old Belfort who obviously retired, and I think it's a good thing that he
You don't
retired.
want to really say what you were saying during that fight, right?
What did I say again? I can't remember. Hold on a second.
About Vitor's fight during the fight. What were you talking about the whole time?
His bad corner, talking. Exactly. I mean, I can't understand what the heck was going on. I mean, go baby, go into the corner.
Stop.
Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
Anthony,
you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, Vitor Belfort shouldn't be taking advice from anybody else but legendary fighters. But it was if you didn't know, okay, whoa. Tranquilo, señorito. Let's put it this way.
Remember
Belfort
what city
lost
we're in.
Yeah, you remember what city. But Belfort is still finding his teeth somewhere up on the third. That was a crazy knockout. And he didn't, it just didn't make sense. He was trying to go on the outside. He worked the changing stances of Machida. So I don't know, the corner was not very good. You got a problem with that?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, Dave.
Well, that's just what you were saying during the fight. You weren't impressed with the advice that Vitor was getting. Maybe it was the wrong advice. And, it didn't lead to a victory for Vitor tonight, get knocked out by Lyoto Machida. That might have been the last time we see Vitor in the UFC.
Yeah,
Vitor was talking about going to fight Fedor and Bellator, so maybe we'll see Vitor and Bellator. You think Vitor...
Against Fedor?
Why not?
Never.
Why
That's
not?
not gonna happen.
Why not?
No, this is like no. We saw Fedor last week, or was it 2 weeks?
Couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you, that was a good-looking Fedor, and today was a very bad-looking Vitor.
And King Mo.
King Mo, man, what's up with Burger
King Mo
King
got
Mo?
knocked out by Ryan Bader in the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix tonight. In
Whopper.
15 seconds, Bader knocked him out.
That was like unbelievable. Like two different people, two different classes. Burger King Mo was like whoppered out. 15 seconds, the fastest knockout in Bellator history. And let me tell you, not that Bader looked that great. We can't really tell like if
It's
he
hard
was
to
that.
tell.
That's right. I mean, you took Bader to win this overall.
I took Bader to win the whole tournament, and so far, I mean, he won the first round, and he's going to fight Mitrione next, right?
Which could be very interesting.
So right now in the heavyweight tournament that Bellator has, it's going to be Bader versus Mitrione, and in the other round, it's going to be Fedor versus Chael Sonnen, and then the winners of those two fights fight each other in the finals, provided they all get there healthy. If not, the winner of next week's fight between Roy Nelson and Crow Cop is the alternate.
Yeah, that probably not. I mean, the fight obviously is going to happen. It's really, it's going to be an interesting finish. I chose Fedor to take it, win it all, and then, in my opinion, he'll probably retire if he can take this whole heavyweight. And he looked good, man. He looked good.
Against Frank Mir, he looked good.
Well, Frank Mir was in his best shape ever, right? He looked good. Like today.
I don't think he's going to win the tournament though. Fedor.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, we'll see.
I think Bader had the most impressive first round performance of any of the Bellator tournament. You see 50 Cent was there?
What the heck is up with that guy? Like, seriously, 50 Cent? Like it doesn't
Let's
make
go,
any
50.
sense. I said it yesterday. I said, by the time the fight is over, you'll be 25 cents. There's no way a guy... I mean, if 50 Cent is listening to me, first of all, I don't like your music. Number two, can I say that? Number two, there's no reason...
You're aware that 50 Cent is a musician?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
does it make sense?
When Amanda Nunes came out to her Rihanna song, you didn't know who Rihanna was, and I almost lost my mind.
Yeah, okay. I made a little mistake there.
A little mistake.
I
You
made a
asked
little
me
mistake.
if Rihanna was Beyonce and they were the same person. You don't know the difference?
No, man.
Name two Beyonce songs.
Can't.
Name one Beyonce song.
Where's Google when I need it? Google, like...
No, don't ask my Google. Stop talking to my Google.
I thought it was the other person, actually. The wardrobe malfunction.
Janet Jackson?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm getting uncomfortable with you not knowing who any of these people are.
I don't know, man. I'm
You
like
don't
I'm
know.
old school, man. I like the Beastie Boys. I like, AC/DC. Shout out to Wally. Like, I love you too. But I have no, like, Rihanna.
Name
Brianna.
one.
What's her name, man? Sounds like a
Rihanna.
T, like a T set. Okay.
Any people that aren't white you listen to in there, Anthony?
Michael
Name-
Jackson. Questionable. Oof.
Really?
Michael Jackson, man, he's the best. Oh, Prince, I love Prince.
You are old, eh?
I am, man. It's sad.
You don't know who Rihanna is?
I
do you not know who Rihanna
Show me a
is?
picture. I have no idea.
I'll show you some pictures. My goodness.
I know Mackenzie Dern. I know Cyborg. I know Amanda Nunes.
Okay, get it out. Talk to me about your girl Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, what a great fight. Like I said it last week. I said it yesterday. I said Mackenzie Dern is going to be the future of the UFC, and for sure they're prepping her to be the next poster girl for the UFC. And what people don't realize is that this girl here, okay, so what? She ate too much at the buffet line. Who cares, man? So she's 7 pounds overweight.
Who
You're
cares?
right. I mean,
She
care.
didn't make weight for her fight.
That's right. But Amanda Cooper said this: "I'm gonna destroy this girl, make her realize that she shouldn't have come into the MMA." And what happened? Everybody was questioning Dern's stand up striking skills and whatnot. Tonight it showed that she can strike, man. And not only can she strike, she gently put her down and then choked her out. So the thing is that what it comes down to is that Mackenzie Dern is a world champion grappler. She's fought Gabby Garcia. She's fought the world's best. She is the world's best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. Okay. And she will be the future UFC champion. Dave knows that. You know what I'm saying? Remember this. Okay. Save this podcast.
I think we've had enough of this Mackenzie Dern promo that he's cutting. You're like the Paul Heyman to Mackenzie Dern's Brock Lesnar.
Mackenzie.
Another reference you don't understand, but that's okay.
Razor Ramon. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
She looked okay tonight, but like, come on.
She looked okay. She looked awesome.
She's got to make weight. And just like Antoinette is saying here, Dern did win, but next time make weight. It's called respect for the sport.
Yeah, it is respect for the sport, but the thing is that we don't know what happened behind.
Why are you making so many excuses for her?
I'm not.
You're like, oh, big deal. She was 7 pounds overweight. Who cares? She's the future of the sport. She's the future of the UFC. You're bananas. You are losing.
No, you know who is a banana? Who is the old banana? I actually put that down in my notes. What did I say? Oh yeah, I said. It's funny that you bring that up.
He's got notes.
I got notes, like, man. I'm not joking around.
Like he's not kidding. He writes. He's here taking notes. Like
Listen.
Very serious.
In fact, in my notes, I said that Jacare looked like an old banana, and I'm glad you brought up the banana thing.
Jacare did look old. After the first round, he seemed like he had no more gas. And it looked like a 38-year-old dude fighting a 26-year-old dude. Jacare looked like he just didn't have that second gear past the first round. Either he's old, or there was some sort of problem with his training camp where, he was hurt somewhere and the weight cut was tough or something. Something did not look right for Jacare tonight.
I'll tell you where it didn't look right. We were actually bringing this up, like when we were watching his trailer, like to the prelude to his fight, the camp that he was fighting at. Remember, we were looking at, like, it was something weird. It looked like he was, like, training out of some, like, I don't know, huge, like, department store or something like that. It was
didn't
weird.
Seem like a legit gym.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know what the heck is going on.
I don't know where he's training. No disrespect to those guys. Maybe it is a legit gym. It just seemed like you didn't know any of the coaches. You didn't see any training partners that were, like, named training partners. It was just weird. Jacare has seemed to have found himself like a retirement gym. It's like he moved to the States, he found himself a little spot. This is a gym where they treat him nice, and he works out there because he figures he's done enough learning. He's kind of at the peak Jacare that he's going to be, and he's just kind of maintaining at this gym. But unfortunately, when you're maintaining and other guys are getting better, you're going to lose.
You know what the problem is? I think some of these guys have been in the game so long, they don't want to really, like, train hard, so they go to these new gyms where people just basically allow them to stop when they want to stop. In the old school gyms and like where they came from, there is no stopping. You got to keep fighting. If you want to fight, you got to fight the best in every level, like being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai. You're fighting in old gyms. My old coach once told me, he says, if a gym, can I say this, doesn't smell like piss, doesn't look like piss, and doesn't feel like piss, you're in the wrong gym. So
smell like piss?
Yeah, man. No joking.
Piss?
The old boxing schools know all about this.
Okay.
If it doesn't look like that, smell like that, or feel like that, get out.
We have some questions here from YouTube, from Wally. First he says, do you know Pharaoh Monch?
Who the heck? I know Carl Frosch, but I don't know who the heck is that? Is
Pharaoh Monch is a rapper.
Who?
Pharaoh Monch.
I know Farrah Fawcett from Charlie's Angels.
Simon Says.
Simon Says. Is this a joke? Is this real?
Anyways.
Huh? Simon Says, what the heck are you talking about,
and here's
Wally?
a martial arts question for you.
Now I'm nervous.
Who do you want next for Mackenzie Dern?
Look.
Rose Namajunas? Joanna Jędrzejczyk? How about the winner of Carla Esparza and... who's Esparza fighting at the next UFC pay-per-view? I saw that. And I thought, oh, that'd be a good matchup for...
Wally.
For Mackenzie Dern.
Wally.
Carla Esparza is fighting...
Who?
Claudia Gadelha. That's a strawweight fight.
Well,
how about the winner of that fight against Mackenzie Dern?
Yeah,
that's my answer. I know, Anthony, you don't have a good answer, but that's my answer.
I think the best answer is this. She's already 2-0 in the UFC. She's like 8-0 like in MMA. So what it comes down to is this. Everybody's going to be questioning her. She needs to get a big name win now. Now is the time when she starts to need to pave the path to greatness. So she needs to, any one of those girls she's got to fight, and every one of those girls she has to beat.
You're such a fanboy. You're so excited about Mackenzie Dern. The whole time during her fight, he was like, oh, Mackenzie Dern, I met her once. She was so nice. She was so nice. I met her dad. I was in the sauna with Megaton Diaz. Me and Megaton were in the sauna together. Oh, he's got such a nice body. He smells so good. He touched me inappropriately.
What? I didn't say that.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Did I just imagine that part?
That could have been. Oh, wait. Where's our KFC? We have to be sponsoring KFC. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the KFC.
What do you mean you're going to get the KFC?
The KFC in the back.
You brought KFC, so you want to show it on the YouTube?
Yeah, man.
Could you not?
Come on. KFC might be watching. Anyways, if KFC is
Just
watching,
give him a
we
shout
ate it.
out.
KFC at the UFC on Dave's couch tonight. What's the date, anyways?
It's May 13th.
May 13th.
Happy Mother's Day.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Did the sauna smell like piss? Wally wants to know.
No, I didn't actually. But I'll tell you one thing. With Megaton, when I was yapping with this guy, Megaton is the dad of Mackenzie Dern.
Your favorite fighter.
Exactly. And
who do you?
I was trying to ham it up with the dad. Maybe I could have had an in with his daughter. But the thing is that I gotta tell you something. Megaton is considered one of the world's best masters grappler in the world. So, like I said last week or the week before, the pedigree of Mackenzie Dern is like the highest level, man. And Megaton knows how to kick butt. What were you gonna say, Dave? Tell me.
Who do you like better, Mackenzie Dern or Luke Rockhold? No. Here's a question for you.
That could be a good couple, by the way.
You would love that, right?
That would be. Imagine their babies. Be awesome.
And you're in the corner watching.
It could happen. I mean, we're taping this. Go ahead, Dave. What are you gonna say?
You're in a boat.
I'm in a boat. I gotta hear this.
Mackenzie Dern and Luke Rockhold are both drowning. You can only save one. Who are you saving?
Damn, this is hard. This is gonna be a tough one. Well, right now, if this is a tough one. I'm gonna tell you why this is a tough one. This is a good one, Dave. I like this one. This is a good one. If it was about 3 years ago when I called that.
No, wait, stop.
No, wait.
No,
wait.
I gotta make it better.
No. Let me just
You're in a boat.
this.
You're in a boat.
Okay.
Mackenzie Dern, Luke Rockhold, and Fred.
Oh, Fred, man.
Fred Garcia.
Fred's my boy, man.
Okay.
I know Fred's listening.
They're all drowning. You can only save one.
Why can't we go back to the first part?
No.
Because
now
it takes away. I was gonna tell you a good one. All right, go ahead.
Who do you save?
Well, for sure, Fred. I mean,
you're saving Fred.
For sure, man. He's like,
wow.
You know what?
What about me?
You too, man.
Oh.
Ringside Report couldn't be without Dave and Fred.
Okay.
So if that happens, then there's no more Ringside Report. And
Wally says it has to be Fred. That's nice. What about Johnny North?
Johnny North too, man.
Okay.
I love Johnny. Plus, he's a big guy and he'll squish me like a bug.
He'd be hard to save, though.
I have to take him by his hair. He's got hair like Samson.
So back to Mackenzie Dern, Luke Rockhold.
Finally.
Who are you saving?
Look, so back what I was going to say originally was this. 3 years ago, I would have been like, for sure, Rockhold. Why? Because he was the champion, and I called it. I was the first one to call Rockhold being the future champion, and Dave can attest to that. Even though he tries to deny it, you know that I called that.
I don't.
I called that. I called Rousey losing live on RingsideReport.net. Remember that show? But now, if it was if we were rowing a boat in Venice and going on the gondola and the gondola exploded in half.
Why are we in a gondola? Just a boat. It's just a boat.
Yeah, let's
answer the goddamn question.
I'm going with Mackenzie Dern now because she's the future champion. I gotta save the future champion. Sorry, Rock. Hold. It ain't happening. 3 years ago, maybe.
Got a comment here says Johnny would lift the boat.
Johnny would lift.
He'd just pick up the boat. Yeah. He'd throw you in the water and carry the boat to shore.
Yeah. Johnny North is one beast, man. He's a big boy and he's a really nice guy. I gave him a lift home one time, and let me tell you, man, that car was tilted this way. He's a big boy. Not that I'm small either, but that guy is a wrestler. But wait a sec, I'm a wrestler too.
Okay, let's get to some of the other fights here on UFC 224 that we saw tonight.
How come no one's asking you questions about boats and all that kind of stuff or music?
Because I know things. I know who Rihanna is. Who doesn't know Rihanna?
I mean, if I see her picture, I might...
Who doesn't know Beyonce?
I thought they were the same people.
Who's Beyonce married to?
You're asking me that? I don't even know. Are you serious?
How do you not know? Everybody knows.
Who is she married to?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z? Okay. I think I know.
Who is Jay-Z?
He's a J and a Z. Jay-Z. Tell me he's going to be another guy who wants to fight in the MMA. Let me guess this.
Name a Jay-Z song.
I have no idea. Are you serious? Google. Google or Siri.
Stop.
Call Google or Siri.
Hard Knock Life?
Hard Knock Life. I know the gym, Hard Knocks, yeah. I don't know the song. And I'm not joking. Dave is pulling all this stuff on me live.
Antoinette wants me to name a Rihanna song.
Antoinette knows her music.
Yeah, I can.
That I know.
I can
hey, Antoinette, how are you?
Several Rihanna songs. I like "Pour It Up." I think that's a good one.
I know "Pour Some Sugar on Me." Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want me to name more Rihanna songs?
Like, dude, do you actually
Varela?
listen to that? He made me listen to one song called
I'm not
Work,
like
Work, Work, Work. It was like, are you serious? If I had to listen to that song, I swear to God, I would save both Mackenzie Dern and Rockhold and I would drown. Because that was a horrible song. Work, Work, Work. What kind of, like, ridiculous song is that? Seriously? Try to
Pondy
come out on a walkout with a song like that. You're gonna lose.
Pondy replay.
What? Pondy? I know Ponderosa Steakhouse back in the days, but Ponder... What?
You're not even kidding. You really don't know.
I'm serious. I don't know, man. Like, are you joking? Are these real songs?
Antoinette says Riri is the queen.
Who?
You should see. She dressed up as the Pope at the Met Gala. You didn't see that?
You're joking, right?
You don't know about the Met Gala? How come you don't know about anything?
Dude, I know about, like, UFC, Bellator, boxing, wrestling,
You don't know anything.
BJJ.
You know
music, I know walkout songs to music. But dressing up as the Pope? Are you serious?
See, Antoinette says it was gorgeous. I thought it was a good look, too.
Oh
I thought she looked
God.
cool.
Put a picture so I can see this. This is like... Is this real?
You want to see?
I want to see. This
Rihanna
Yeah, I'm even putting on my glasses so I can see this.
at the Met Gala.
Look at this. I'm putting on my glasses. This is ridiculous.
Here she is, the queen, Rihanna.
What the hell is that? Oh my God. That is like blasphemy. That was like Sinead O'Connor in the days.
It was the theme to the ball. It's a thing.
She is like...
You should see what
she is an attractive woman. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, how do you not know who Rihanna is?
She looks like that girl in that movie there.
She probably was in that movie because she's Rihanna. She's super famous. She's been famous for a long time. How do you not know who Rihanna is?
Well, if Rihanna's listening, I apologize.
Like, to me, forget the fights. The biggest news of the night is Anthony doesn't know who Rihanna is. Stop breaking things.
Yeah, like yesterday on studio. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be more versed.
Do you know who Drake is?
Yeah, of course, I know who Drake is. How can I not know Drake? He was the guy in, like, Degrassi. Wasn't he the guy in the wheelchair or something like that? I remember him. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Am I right about that? At least I know that stuff.
Well, I know Drake.
He's, like, from Toronto, I think.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him perform.
Probably wants to fight against CM Punk or something. Another one.
I don't think so.
It ain't happening.
I would like to see 50 Cent fight Rampage Jackson.
That'll be a nightmare. That'll be a nightmare.
I think Rampage would win,
Mm-hmm.
but if 50 Cent can get shot 9 times, who says he can't survive a Rampage Jackson fight?
He's not going to survive. The bullets will probably be easier.
He was shot 9 times. He survived 9 gunshots. You're saying he's not tough enough to have one fight?
He's not going to survive, like, the 10th takedown or the first takedown of 10 attempts of his life with Rampage Jackson. The bullets will be easier to take than a Rampage Jackson, like, fireman throw. Good luck, 50 Cent. You'll be 25, like I keep saying, you'll be 25 cents after the fight is over.
You would rather take a bullet than a fireman carry?
From Rampage Jackson? I'd probably, like, yeah.
No.
Like, at least like, if you're gone, you're gone. But I can see myself being lifted by Rampage and being slammed.
Listen.
That's painful.
We can call Rampage, you know.
Let's call him. That'd be, I'd like to ham it up. You know what? If I could do that, I would actually try to promote that fight like crazy.
If I can contact Rampage and say, I know a guy who says he'd rather get shot than take a fireman's carry from you, and then we get Rampage down and we get a gun with a bullet, okay? And then we say, okay, Anthony, it's put up or shut up time. We have Rampage, we have a gun with a bullet. Make your choice.
Shoot me in the ass, no problem.
So you'd
slam me down, I'd probably be like...
I'm pulling the trigger, too.
Oh, fuck.
Who would you rather, me or Rampage pulling the trigger?
Well, Rampage will probably shoot me in the head. I can see that happening. For sure.
Okay, so
he did play B.A. Baracus,
so
right?
I'm pulling the trigger and I'm shooting you in your hind parts.
This has gone out of control here, man. From, like, boat drownings to shooting. What happened?
Well,
this was Race I Report. It was a family show.
You'd rather take a gunshot than a fireman's carry, and I'm just illustrating the point of how ridiculous that statement is. You make ridiculous statements.
That's not ridiculous. It's Rampage Jackson, man. Does people forget who he is? 50 Cent wants to go up against that guy?
It's a fireman's
carry.
It
doesn't make sense.
See, Antoinette says I'm looking sharp again.
He does. I told him to wear a tie, but he didn't want to wear it. How about me?
I don't need a tie.
I'm representing Canada, Team Ireland.
I'm classing it up for the YouTube shows.
I am too. Look, I'm like playing my part.
Let's get to some of the other fights here. Gastelum beating Jacare by split decision. I agreed with that. I thought Gastelum won rounds 2 and 3. I was happy to see the judges in Brazil give it to Gastelum.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What are you laughing
No, because Antoinette said I look good as well.
Yeah, you look good as well, but not as good as me. Because the compliment.
But he's missing a tie. If he had the tie, it would like definitely stand
a tie and
more.
a t-shirt is a really weird look.
It's not. It would look good. Come on. I was gonna say is that Gastelum, like, yeah, he deserved the win. It wasn't by much. Jacare like looked so tired. I don't know what happened. No idea.
Yeah.
But like the first round looked like it was gonna be like a mauling. That the second round would come and it would be a submission by Jacare. I thought a submission was gonna happen, and it just turned around and there was a total surprise. It came close at the end. I mean, people were on the cusp. I saw a tweet from Elias Theodoro, which is a guy who fights in the MMA and the UFC and has the greatest hair in.
People know who he is.
Yeah, you know who he. Actually, most people don't realize this, but he's actually the cover boy for the Harlequin romance novels. He's like that guy there. That's him.
How do you know that?
Because he said it once.
Because he said it.
So if Theodoro is listening, you can back that up.
You don't know if it's actually
true.
No,
he actually said it. You know, he was on like some talk show in Toronto.
But is it real?
No, it's real. It's real. He's like he's a model and all that kind of stuff. But what he said was it was.
You sure you don't read Harlequin romance novels?
Mum's the word. So what I was gonna say is that
you don't know Rihanna, but you know about Harlequin romance.
My mom used to buy those books. What am I gonna do? Happy Mother's Day. So the thing is that Jacare should have technically won this fight if he was in better conditioning.
Yeah, but he's 38 years old, and I think that's starting to wear on him.
Look, I'm
wear and tear, man. You can't be fighting forever.
No, man. Randy Couture was fighting at 47.
This was Gastelum's night. You know,
it wasn't a great night for him, but it was his night, that's for sure. And I'm sure if they fight again, it might be Jacare's night. It was just an off night. Everybody can have a bad night. Tonight was his bad night.
What do you think about Raquel Pennington going into her corner after the 4th round, telling her corner that she was done, and her corner saying, "Nah, you got to go back in there and fight in a 5th round"?
I didn't hear that part really.
They said it on
I think
the
I was sleeping at that point. Oh, did they?
Wake up.
Okay, yeah. This is coffee here, by the way. No whiskey or anything. But like, if she wanted,
this is straight up Pepsi in my Hulk Hogan glass. Straight Pepsi.
Oh, this is Suplex City. Look at that.
Yeah,
what do you
Brock
know?
Lesnar.
That's who we need back. That should have been like some main card down in Brazil. But no, I mean, if her corner's telling her like to keep going and she wanted to give up, I mean, obviously the fight is done. Any fighter that just wants to give up, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. The fight is done, and I'm surprised.
Antoinette says they should fire her corner.
I agree.
She should fire her corner.
Fire the corner? I mean, there was quite a few people that should have been fired today in the corner, and it started off with the first card in the main card.
Okay,
all the way through. I agree with you, Antoinette. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So
look, your coaching is a huge thing.
I was pretty shocked that a fighter would say that she's done, and then the corner would send her out again. I thought that was...
Well, they have to. I mean, you're not going to just, like, throw in the towel, right?
Why
it's
not
like boxing that you're going to throw in the towel. But the thing is that she's going to have to...
You say, okay, you're done, you're done.
But you can't. Like, it's a psychological factor here. Like, every fighter wants to give up. There's no fighter that's out there that is, like, they're almost on their deathbed, and then they get the second win. They need support from their corner or their team to say, listen, man, you can do it. But she couldn't do it. There was no way that she was going to win this fight. But again, like, Nunes, like, didn't, like... she didn't impress me as much as I would have wanted her to impress me, especially in Brazil, in front of her crowd. It just was a fizzler.
It was not that impressive.
No.
Wally says she has to take some responsibility too. She could have stayed on the stool, which is a solid point. She could have just stayed there. She could have started the round and tapped right away, but she didn't want to do that. But it did seem like she was kind of done in that 5th round. Like, there wasn't much fight back. There wasn't much defense. She was done in the 5th. Yeah. Pennington could not take any more and didn't want to take any more. I think that she did. I think she broke. She was broken. Sure. She was done.
Her legs were gone. That's why she wanted to give up. She couldn't stand, probably.
Speaking of legs being gone, how about that John Lineker Brian Kelleher fight?
Oh my God.
Lineker just poured it on, throwing big, heavy shots onto Kelleher, eventually finishing him in the third round by knockout. And I called the end of that fight. Like, we were
You
watching
did.
it. We're watching the fight, and Lineker is hitting Kelleher, and he hits him a couple times, and Kelleher is wobbly. He's on wobbly legs, and it looks like he's kind of trying to get his feet back under him, and it looks like he maybe does for half a second. But what did I say? I said if he gets hit with one more shot, he's gonna go out and he's gonna be done. Like, he's gonna go unconscious. And then a couple seconds later, he got hit with one shot and went out.
Yeah, he was out.
He was done. He was out on his feet before that. He wasn't all there. As soon as your legs go wobbly and you can't properly stand, I think you can make a case for stopping the fight. Now, Kelleher probably would have argued a stoppage had he been stopped before he got put unconscious, but I don't know if you need that extra concussion after it was pretty obvious the guy was out on his feet. When you don't have your feet under you, when a guy does that kind of chicken dance where he's wobbly, I don't know if you should let a guy fight after that, because something goes on in your brain that stops your feet from working.
Yeah.
So if that
legs.
happens to you in a fight, maybe you're done. Because usually when that happens to a guy and he's on wobbly legs,
Yeah, but
if he gets hit one more time, the lights go out.
Yeah, but
So that tells me, like, okay, your lights are nearly out. What's the point of that extra hit to make him fully go out? Why not just end it when a guy's...
you're saying the ref to jump in.
The ref jumps in and
Yeah,
says,
because the fighter is not going to realize he's going out, right?
I'm
Or
saying
fighter is like thinking he's like completely straight, right?
The ref jumps in and says, look, man, you're out on your feet. You're wobbly. You can't stand up straight. We're ending the fight right here.
You know what? Antonetto will probably know this dance, the Tarantella. That's pretty much what it is. It's like, yeah, the crazy legs going. But as a fighter, like I was saying, they don't know that they're going out. They're going to continue. And that last, like, to be honest, going back the rounds prior, Lineker was just, like, so dominant. This guy here really impressed me as a fighter. He really made, like, he helped this card. He was just excellent. And
it was a good fight.
It was a good fight. But I got to say one thing is that Kelleher, this guy is strong, man. He had a strong chin. He took some serious body shots. He was getting barrage of combinations throughout the fight, and he still managed to stay to the third round. So, yeah, he ended up getting knocked out, but I got to give him kudos for like being able to stand and still like be challenging. But for Lineker, I mean, what an awesome fighter. This guy was really exciting to watch.
Really nice.
Mind you, if you hear his name, you wouldn't realize he's Brazilian, but yeah, he's a Brazilian guy. So that was a good spotlight for the Brazilian fights tonight. Who's anybody commenting?
Wally says Lineker's great, but he's just below title level.
For now, I think like it'll be definitely like a different story, like in I guess the years to come. I think how old is he? He's like 30 years old. Somewhere around there.
For you. But Lineker has been up and down. No, he's only 27. He's still a really young guy.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
But he has fought, at a title level. When he fought T.J. Dillashaw, it wasn't for the championship, but when he moved up to a guy like Dillashaw, he wasn't able to have success. He never actually fought for the UFC championship, but he does have a really good record in the UFC. I mean, the only guys to beat him are Luis Gaudino in 2012, Bagatinov in 2014, and Dillashaw in 2016. But, man, you look at all these wins on his record, John Lineker does not lose very often. The guy's got 8 wins in his last 9 fights. That's really impressive.
Yeah, 13 wins in the UFC. 13 wins by KO. In fact, actually, he's not 27, he's 28. Today was his birthday, so he won on his birthday. So, happy birthday. That? Yeah, man, they said it. Happy birthday, John.
Because on Wikipedia, it says his birthday is June 12th.
What? So why are they saying happy birthday on the freaking UFC?
Are you sure that was him?
It was him, man.
Wasn't it another fighter?
I even put it down in my notes. Happy birthday, John. Okay. Wikipedia is wrong. They got to change it. Actually, I want to pose a question to Wally, who's listening in Ireland. We have fans from all over the world listening to us. You name it, we got them. I was going to say, Wally, what did you think about this card overall? Was it a pay-per-view card?
Are you guys happy if you paid for the pay-per-view? Are you happy? Was it money well spent? Anyways, Antoinette asked us a question here, Anthony. That's usually how it goes. They ask us questions.
Yeah, but we could ask them a question.
We could.
Tell me.
Antoinette, kind of off topics, but she wants to know if I think CM Punk is going to win in June, or is this the end of the UFC for him?
No, against Mike Jackson. CM Punk.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Your favorite artist?
Beat it. Just beat it. That's what's going to happen to him. He's going to get beaten. I think CM Punk is going to beat Mike Jackson. Where most people don't realize is that CM Punk is a wrestler who is a real wrestler as well.
No.
A blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
No.
He's training. He's training wrestling. He has great
but he's
skills.
Not a wrestler.
Well, he is a professional entertainment wrestler.
Yeah, but
who's been training in real freestyle wrestling, and he's a blue belt going to purple belt soon in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, but he's not a wrestler. He's not Dan Gable.
Listen, he's not Dan Gable. Yeah, you're right, but
he's not Kurt Angle.
No, he's not. But the thing is that he is, or has been training extremely hard from his first fight. He's just been straight back at the gym, and he's been training. And you know what? CM Punk has I think a really good chance to win this. This will be his first win.
I hope so. I'm not sure.
Or he could always fight Mayweather, like I said. So
he looked
you know what?
so bad in his first fight. I'm not convinced that he can ever win.
He didn't look that bad. I mean, he looked like a guy who.
He looked terrible.
You know what? It wasn't too bad. I mean, I mean.
He looked terrible.
How come I'm always defending the wrestlers from like the WWE?
Antoinette says, no yawning, Dave, more coffee. I'm sorry, it's almost 2 a.m.
Was he yawning? I missed that.
Well, I was yawning because you were just blabbing on and on. And sometimes Anthony gets boring.
What? Me? Boring?
That's why I have to rein him in. That's why we need Fred here.
Me boring?
We're missing Fred.
Fred is sleepy. He's been sleeping for the last 4 hours, I think.
Oh, this guy says, who is this jabroni crediting CM Punk as a wrestler in the context of professional MMA?
I'm a jabroni.
You're the jabroni. This guy, Belvin Flipmunk, says you're a jabroni.
I am a jabroni. I'm actually Italian.
His name's Ireland. His name's Anthony, and he's a real jabroni.
I am a real jabroni.
He is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and a former world champion at what? Purple belt? You're a world champion in jiu-jitsu? So he does kind of know what he's talking about as far as martial arts, but...
Muay Thai, boxing.
He did say CM Punk was a wrestler.
Well, he is... a wrestler, entertainment wrestler.
Brock Lesnar had an amateur wrestling background. He was an NCAA Division I National Wrestling Champion. CM Punk was a Ring of Honor World Champion and a WWE Champion. It's a different business, okay? You gotta...
Look, this jabroni is going to tell you, jabroni, that, you know what? CM Punk is going to win it. And you know what? You got to give him kudos for at least trying and staying in there. Most people would have picked up and went when he got beat down on his first fight, but he's there and you got to give him credit. He's training hard. He's training with good camps, and you never know, man. Anything could happen. And
well, I hope you're right. I hope CM Punk does win.
Listen.
And Wally says, if you give AJ crap, he will make you tap. That's a good catchphrase for you.
I like that. Wally's thanks, Wally. And who's the guy that called me jabroni?
Belvin Flipmunk.
Belvin, listen, no offense, man. I like you, buddy, but, I'm entitled to my opinion.
I like you. Why do you like him?
Well, because you know what?
He called you a jabroni.
That's fine. He called it as it is, which is really cool.
You know what? He is.
But if I meet you in the ring, it'll be a different story.
You don't know that. What if Belvin Flipmunk is actually Brock Lesnar?
Then I'm going to be smashed like a bud.
Then you're screwed. What if Belvin Flipmunk is Mackenzie Dern?
Well, then I'll bring you flowers.
Wouldn't you be sad if Mackenzie Dern was calling you a
She'll
jabroni?
probably tap me out, too.
Yeah, she definitely would. Definitely would. All right, let's try to wrap this thing up. We're running pretty late here, Anthony. Yeah. Let's run into some other fights. You love jiu-jitsu, right? Mm-hmm. What did you think of Alexei Oleinik's Ezekiel choke submission from bottom half guard?
That was incredible. I mean, we were actually trying to recreate that type of choke. It's an old school choke, and he's done it 3 times now. I was really surprised. I mean, it didn't look like he was going to win this fight.
Albini was looking pretty good.
Albini was looking good. His stand-up was pretty crisp for a very big guy. But then he got caught with that takedown, and then it was all over. I mean, to tap out to a choke like that, I'm sure Albini's neck is going to be like in a cast like for the next couple of weeks because that choke was deep and I'm sure it was painful.
Crazy choke. Really
Crazy choke,
nice.
man. Like this will be like
Really nice.
I'm sure people are gonna be practicing this choke again.
Yeah.
We were trying to
We were trying to figure it out. We were working on it. As soon as we saw it, we're like, "Oh man, how did he like pull the?
like I think like for
How did
sure
he do it exactly?"
it was like a weird Ezekiel choke. But I'm not too sure if the hand is going underneath and grabbing the chin. I'm gonna have to like practice this to see like how he's doing it.
It's a nice move.
But yeah,
But he's
it's
good
a
at
painful.
it. It's what he does. I mean, he's been mounted on the bottom and pulled this choke off. He was in bottom half guard and he pulled this choke off. You got to be really careful when you're fighting Oleinik. You don't want to grapple with him at all because as soon as he grabs your head, if he touches you, he can wrap his arms around you and put the squeeze on.
He's
You want to
solid.
stay away from him grappling wise. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. If you're a heavyweight, you better be sharp. You better be on your game if you're going to come anywhere near Oleinik because he's going to throw that choke on you from all angles. Like that's a scary thing because he's not orthodox.
Yeah,
he's really weird in the angles that he's catching guys with the choke. So normally when you think you're safe, you find out you're not safe. Like when you have a guy fully mounted, you probably think you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have Alexei Oleinik fully mounted, you're not safe. You might be choked out.
So that might be his downfall down
That's
the road.
dangerous, though.
It is dangerous, but the thing is that he's like looking like a one-trick pony. So that's the thing right now. Everybody knows that if they're gonna stand face to face with him, that choke might come out. So what's gonna have to happen is that you're gonna have to be able to take this guy down and take his back. You can't perform that choke when someone's on your back. So eventually, someone is gonna be able to. Obviously,
Well,
the
there have
stand-up
been-
wasn't that great, right? His stand-up, like his defense wasn't. It was pretty choppy.
Well, Curtis Blades beat him by TKO.
So
You know, Daniel Omilanchuk beat him by decision. But, you know, he was able to choke out Travis Brown and Anthony Hamilton and even Mirko Krokop before he was in the UFC. So Alexei Oleinik is a real deal. He's got some good chokes,
for
but
sure.
he's a good level of heavyweight, but he's not top 5. You know, he's maybe top 15, top 10, but he's not elite because the hands haven't come along yet, and he's not a young guy either.
No,
Oleinik.
I think he's like in his 40.
He's 40 years old, and he's got that was his 53rd professional win. This guy's been fighting since 1997.
Kudos to him, man. That's
It's
awesome.
crazy.
And like he's bringing like things into the ring that most people haven't brought. So like you got to give him credit.
Cesar Mutanch with a nice arm triangle choke over Carl Roberson tonight. Davi Ramos with a nice rear naked choke over Nick Hine.
That was nice. Yeah, Heine.
Pretty impressive. Nick
Yeah.
Hine had some really big thighs. Remember
yeah,
that guy?
like those were like some impressive thighs. Like
Man, that guy had some jacked thighs, but it
yeah.
wasn't enough to win him the fight. But man, he impressed us with his muscles.
well, judo black belt, but it didn't help him in the end.
Pretty muscular though, so
His legs were like horse legs.
yeah, crazy,
weird.
crazy legs on that
Yeah.
guy.
But again, the legs were good, but the neck wasn't.
Wally wanted us to discuss the John Fitch Paul Daly fight from
That was-
Bellator. That was a weird one,
Right.
right? Fitch did what Fitch does. You know, he took Daly down.
Controlled the fight.
He held him down, and Daly couldn't do anything. But towards the end of the third round, Daly was like talking to the commentary saying, "Oh, Fitch is so boring. Look what he's doing. He's boring." And he was like, "Boo, boo." He was booing Fitch,
Weird, man. Weird.
saying, "Look at this boring guy," while Fitch had him back mounted and was like throwing these punches at him. He wasn't throwing hard punches at him, but he was still kind of, you know, hitting him. And Daly was just talking, making no real attempt to get out from under John Fitch. It was a bizarre scene, and it's just what happens, I guess, when you put Paul Daly in there with a AKA wrestler, you know? When he fought Josh Koscheck in the UFC, it was a bizarre scene. Daly couldn't get out from under Koscheck, and then afterwards he punched him in the head when the fight was over. And then here we have Daly underneath John Fitch, and he can't do anything. He's just frustrated, so he decides to talk instead of fight, which was...
I would have punched his mouth. I mean,
Well,
like
Fitch was trying to, but like
you know
those
what?
punches from Fitch at the same time, when you have a guy back mounted, if you can't stop a guy from talking trash, it is what it is.
It is, but
like Daly can't stop Fitch from being on top of him. So Daly's screwing up, but Fitch is also screwing up because he's not hitting him hard enough to make him try to escape.
what's this saying? I'm
We
here
have-
because of Wrestling Uncensored. Frank, that's him. This is the man.
Yeah, Franco's here because of Wrestling Uncensored. Usually we do these shows for Wrestling Uncensored, but Anthony, you get to be part of the Wrestling Uncensored universe.
I was there
You're
the
welcome.
last time for the when you invited me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
Wally
impressive.
says Fitch the Fitch out of Daly. He really did.
Oh yeah, man.
Pure John Fitch.
Yeah, but you know what, Daly,
But
instead
Daly,
of like yapping,
what the hell was that, man?
no, man. If you're gonna like, why talk? I mean, you're talking trash and you're booing the guy. Like it didn't make any sense. Like perform. If you're a really good fighter, you'll be able to get out of that that position. But he couldn't. All rounds was like controlled in the same manner. Fitch was a better wrestler, a better control fighter, and like if you're gonna lose, lose humbly. Like it was a bit embarrassing as a fan watching the fights, and I think for himself too. If he looks back at this fight, he probably realized that he just should have kept his mouth shut and just fight, But anyways, that was very, very weird. But anyways, that's Paul Daly for you.
It was really weird, but Daly just couldn't do anything but talk. He had no.
I don't know who he was talking
recourse.
to. He was talking to who?
He was talking to
Big John. I mean, like Big John McCarthy. Who?
He was talking to the commentary team.
Yeah, well, I like to see the post-fight interview.
Yeah, they didn't even give Daly a post-fight interview. I think they were so embarrassed
it's embarrassing.
with
You're a
what he was
professional
doing,
fighter,
they didn't even bother talking to him. I kind of wanted to see him speak, though, to see what he was going to say.
It's like you're a sore loser, man.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Elsewhere at Bellator 199 tonight, Aaron Pico looked really good. First round, a 70-second victory over Lee Morrison by TKO. Czech Congo with the first round knockout over Javi Ayala. Czech with a big old punch.
6-fight win streak going on now for Cheek. Or Czech.
Why do you call him Cheek?
I like the Cheek.
Czech is 42 years old on a 6-fight win streak, like you mentioned. I'm kind of surprised that he's not involved in this whole Bellator heavyweight tournament.
He doesn't look ready for that tournament. I don't think. Yeah, there's.
He didn't look ready for Fedor tonight.
You're saying Congo?
Yeah.
If he had to fight Fedor?
Yeah.
He would get destroyed. No,
Really?
not at all. No, he won today. It was a nice win. It was a very weird hook that that he won by, but I don't think he has enough behind him to beat Fedor. Are you kidding me? No way. The Russian, no.
You're really convinced that Fedor is the man. He's back right now.
He's back, and he's going to win this, and he's going to retire with this one. He's going to retire as, the last emperor. What's that? What's happening? What's this? Tonight I'll
Wally
watch
says
Bama?
tonight he watched Bellator, UFC, Bama, and Lomo versus Linares boxing. Yeah,
Wally,
somebody fought tonight. Lomachenko fought tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the fight, no.
I assume he won.
I'm not sure. Wally could tell us. We didn't have a chance to watch that.
Yeah, he won. Wally's saying he won.
Okay.
Yeah, you figure. All right, so that's UFC and Bellator. I think we're going to wrap this thing up. If you guys get any last questions before we do.
KO. Oh, he won by KO. That was by David.
Nice. Yeah, that's Wally. That's Wally sending us those questions.
No, it was a guy named David.
Yeah, David Wally Byrne.
Oh, it's David Wally Byrne.
Yeah.
Well, what do you know?
All right. All right, well, that'll be the show. Said
Anyways.
Linares never made the count. If you guys got any last questions here in the next couple minutes, as we're wrapping this thing up, you can send them over on our YouTube feed. We will have a Wrestling Uncensored podcast will be up on the website in the next little bit. This podcast will be up as well at ringsidereport.net. Follow me on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Anthony at Dan E. Brook. Wally wants to know what was our fight of the night. How about a Bellator fight of the night? A Bellator fight of the night was, I don't know. How about these fights that kind of ended It was either Fitch and Daly, which was kind of a long, boring fight, or one of these first round knockouts. I'll go with Bader and King Mo fight of the night. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, sure. 15 seconds. That's for my Bellator fight of the night. But as far as the UFC fight of the night, that's a little bit tougher because I thought we had some good fights on this UFC card. But I'd give it to Lineker and Kelleher. I thought that was fight of the night.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Gastelum and Jacare had a good fight too, though. But I would say Lineker.
It was a good fight, but not like fight of the night.
Lineker and Kelleher, I think, of the UFC
was a good fight.
Bellator cards, overall, that was the best fight I saw tonight.
Cesar Ferreira was a good fight as well earlier, but I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but the Cesar Ferreira fight ended in 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Yeah, it wasn't much of a fight.
Oh, it was just a good fight. I like the finish, but
and what would you give this pay-per-view on a 5-star rating? I wouldn't give it much. I'd give it like a.
I was hoping for more on this.
I'd give it a 2.5.
2.5 out of 5?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I guess I'd have to be honest. I want to say 3, but it's not a 3. It's not a 3. There was something missing tonight. There was. Like, the prelims looked good. The prelim card was, like, pretty interesting. In fact, it was probably a little bit more exciting than the main card. Like I said, for, like, Brazil fights, I thought it would be a lot more show. And, I mean, the fans showed it at the end. They weren't sticking around.
Well, we're getting Antoinette. She says it was a 2. Wally says it was a 2.5.
Yeah, I'd say 2.5.
2.5 out of 5 Johnny North biceps. So we don't do star ratings. We do Johnny North bicep ratings. So 2.5. Johnny North bicep curls.
Yeah, that's not much.
That's not much.
That's not much at all, man.
So, not a great pay-per-view.
No.
And Machida called out Michael Bisping. He wants to fight him. I'm down with that. I know Bisping's looking for one last fight.
You know what? That would be
some sort of retirement deal. I think Machida Bisping makes sense.
Yeah, they'll both. You know what? How long can Machida stay too? And how many, like, maybe 1-2 more fights and he'll take a retirement as well? They have to. I mean, like, these are the old guards, and it's time to bring in the new. And I, you know what, I love them, and you know what, we'll probably see them in Bellator at some point.
All right, so we'll be back together again Friday night, probably with Fred.
Yeah, Fred. We'll have to wake Fred up. He's sleeping right now, but thanks for listening, guys.
We miss you, Freddie.
That's
it.
And
we'll see you on Friday for Ringside Report Radio. Thank you to everybody for watching, everybody for commenting, and Wally and Antoinette and Franco and Belvin Flipmunk and Watermelon Kid, all sorts of people checking in.
Jabroni.
Yeah.
It's all right.
The Belvin who called Anthony a jabroni, especially big shout out to you. Because you see through the nonsense here. Unbelievable. Anthony, thank you. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't
forget Wrestling Uncensored tomorrow.
At Dave Simon MMA on Twitter. At Danny Brook on Twitter.
What about YouTube? What's the YouTube channel?
YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net. YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already know that. But if you're listening to this on the podcast-only version, well, you can watch it on the video.
Or you can listen to us live on TSN 690 AM Eastern.
Friday nights at midnight.
That's right.
That's right.
What's happening
And
here?
Wally wants to know if Wrestling Uncensored is going up online now. Yes, as soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to go put Wrestling Uncensored, the latest episode.
Dave's going to kick me off this couch, throw me out of the house. I'm taking his cat, by the way.
Well,
such a cute little cat.
I have
leaning back like I'm chilling.